Good evening, everyone. I'm Lissy Bastian. It's Monday, February 17th. It's great having you back with us. Water and Sewage Corporation Chairman Adrian Gibson hitting back at Progressive Liberal Party leader Philip Davis, who last week, while supporting the Bahamas Utility Services and Allied Workers Union striking, referred to the Long Island Member of Parliament as a child. Mr. Davis also accused the corporation chairman of not being able to manage the agency of some 400 employees, that Mr. Gibson lacked maturity, and he recommended that the Prime Minister fire him. Well, in response, the executive chairman informed the opposition leader of his extensive professional background, which include a teaching profession, journalist, businessman, lawyer, and now politician.
I trust that the member can appreciate that is not the professional background of a child. In 1 week, the PLP and its leadership has degraded dark-skinned people and young people. Last week, one Miss DeVoe proclaimed that their party does not like dark-skinned people. What? Or as she said, darkies. She said that dark-skinned people heat up a room. You don't like grassroots? Now the leader of the party refers to a 35-year-old member of parliament, a father, a professional, a business person, his colleague, as a child.
Mr. Gibson accused the opposition leader of being more focused on scoring cheap political brownie points during that press conference with Busuwu, and claimed that there appears to be political arrangement at the background of the union's striking.
I was elected by the Bahamian public and appointed to do a job. If doing my job to the best of my ability and in the interest and well-being of the Bahamian public is considered the acts of a child, then, Mr. Speaker, the Bahamas needs more children in leadership. The comments of the member gave the public an insight into the mind of someone who wants to be Prime Minister. 60% of the Bahamas' population is between 0 and 40. I'm 35, 36 this year. If I am considered a child, then certainly 60% are also viewed as hapless children by a man who wants to be Prime Minister.
Mr. Gibson contends that the opposition leader has in the past lauded him, just recently in a local daily praising him for his political maturity. Now Mr. Gibson says the so-called child will do what the opposition leader failed to do for his constituents in Cat Island while in government.
To the people of Cat Island, I'm reviewing plans for your water mains project today. Cat Island, the child will come to deliver water in your homes. The former Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Works with responsibility for water sat in that ministerial chair for 5 years. That is 1,825 days, 260 weeks, and 60 months. Yet he could not deliver water to his people. And so now, Cat Island, this little boy will deliver water to you.
Well, Mr. Gibson also giving some insight into Bahamas Utility Services and Allied Workers Union and the Water and Sewage Management Union strike. Today, Mr. Gibson implied that the action of Busuwu's president was personal.
He is when it is untrue and or personal. I also understand that as a politician, whether I know or don't know, I would be the subject of an attack to garner the most attention. I want the nation to know that any action we have taken is in the best interest of the corporation and the Bahamian people. It is unfortunate that this has been completely blown out of proportion, no doubt also due to politics. Perhaps a little background would provide some clarity on what appears to be an unfortunate personalization or personalizing of these actions.
According to Mr. Gibson, back in 2017, Mr. Woods requested a corporate car, cell phone, and increase in salary. Also in 2018, it was discovered that the union owed WSC $42,000 in back rent. Mr. Gibson also highlighted that Mr. Woods hasn't been to work in about 6 to 7 years prior to those requests. Here's what Mr. Woods' response to those claims.
I think it'd be further from the truth. The members say you could even ask them. I don't know what is personal, but that nothing could be further the truth from what the executive chairman says. There's no truth in the executive chairman, and he must have done a lot of drama classes.
With that said, in the latest developments of the union strike saga, the strike is not over but postponed, according to Mr. Dwayne Woods, and that's after Chief Justice Sir Brian Morey granted the Water and Sewage Corporation's injunction, which forced union members to return to work this morning after 4 days of striking. Edno Roll, president of the WSMU, further explains.
On Friday, the court heard the matter as an ex parte, but they gave notice to the both unions regarding this matter. And the essence of it is that the matter, an interim injunction was granted by the Chief Justice until February 24th at 1:30 p.m., where the matter will become an inter-party matter. And at the end of that, we expect that the injunction will be squashed. And on Tuesday morning, we'll be right back here doing what we do best.
Mr. Woods is confident that Chief Justice Sir Brian will rule in favor of the unions.
The Lord will have his way, and the victory will be granted to the people. Justice delayed is justice denied.
Just last week, the union's matters were directed to the Industrial Tribunal by the Minister of Labor. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.
This segment of the news was brought to you by Alive.